All right, y'all. April Mason, Miss April Mason is back. She is back, and she's got some more good nuggets for us to teach. All kidding aside, you know what I mean? She has some good information, some bad information. It's like Derek Jackson, some good information and some bad information mixed in. You know what I mean? So truth mixed with falsehood. You know what I mean? So, but this one here. It was really off, and I'm going to explain. So let's get into it. Miss April Mason talking about who you should and shouldn't follow. All right.
So you will always know the nature of a leader by the temperament of their followers. Always. Look at history. Look at history. I don't need to meet.
Okay, so let's look at history. There was a man named Jesus, and he had some followers. What grade would they get on the chart? Would they get an A, B, C, D, or F? Especially when they had the two of the Pontius Pilate brought him and the other guy before the people, a lot of them his followers, and he had been out there healing people and feeding them and everything, and Pontius Pilate brings him up and says, hey, one of these guys is going to get a dirt nap. Which one do you guys want to not get the dirt nap? And I'm paraphrasing. And the people picked the other guy, right? Not Jesus. They picked the other guy, right? And then Pontius Pilate is like, are you sure? Yeah, we sure. We give us Barabbas, I think his name was. I don't know. I forget the guy's name. But give us the robber, right? The guy who was robbing places, robbing people. And then Jesus, and they said, pick the one you want. He said, pick the one you want. This is the one that's going to live. And the other one's going to die. That's it, period. And they picked the robber, even though Jesus healed them, fed them, did all the stuff. Now, explain that one, April Mason, if you can tell somebody about their followers. And if you have a YouTube page, you know. You can have people that follow you, they in your chat, man, and they talking crazy, man. Can't control people who follow you. Only thing you can do is be the best leader you can. Can't control people who follow you. Look at Kevin Samuels, man. Got all kind of crazy people following him. Can't control them people, man. You don't know what they're going to do. We had a YouTuber have somebody who terminated his wife in the manosphere or in that area of thinking. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. Can't control these people that follow you or subscribe to you or in your chat. And they hear somebody, especially the zealots, they hear somebody talking about their favorite YouTuber, man. They go over there and they attack. And the YouTuber don't even put them up to it, right? Because the YouTuber can't. It's in your guideline, your YouTube guidelines. It's called brigading. You can't brigade. That's what they kicked Donald Trump off of YouTube for brigading. You can't say to a group of people that's following you or that's on your page, encourage them to go commit acts of violence to another person or entity. You can't do that. That's called brigading. And it violates your YouTube terms of agreement, service rather. Right? I don't know. What am I talking about, man? What am I talking about? Here you go again, bro, Clarence. What you talking about? Just the truth. That's all. Just the truth. Let's hear what else Miss Mason got to say.
Meet the follower. I don't need to have I'm the leader. I don't need to have a discussion with the leader. I don't need to decide if I'm going to have dialogue with them. I can tell by their followers.
I guess the man you call Jesus ain't doing so hot on that. You can tell what kind of leader he is by his followers. If you look at his followers to try to judge what kind of leader he is, man, What kind of leader is God? Look at us. We some horrible people, man. Without his mercy, we are horrible people. What kind of leader is God? Let me back up. I'm asking too many good questions. Let me back up.
Every time. You will always, if you don't remember nothing else I say, don't be arguing with people. Just pay attention to who they're following and who they're getting their information.
Now I will say this. She's right about not arguing with people. You shouldn't really argue with no one. You know, man, you shouldn't. If you can avoid it, don't argue with nobody, man. Nobody is worth your time or your effort and sweat to argue with them. Once you realize they're not listening to you, as long as you can communicate with somebody, you can have productive dialogue, right? But you need the other person to be interested in listening to you. And if they're not, what's the point of arguing with them? What's the point? So I give her credit for that.
Information from. That will tell you if you're going to sit back and be arguing with a fool. You will always know. Look at the world. We knew certain presidents, we could tell what type of followers they had. What type of leader they were. Just look at their followers. So you will all.
Okay. All right. So, I don't know, maybe this looks like somebody touched a nerve or something with her. So she had to come out with this little, video. Man, props to her for running her business, making money and all of this. I just think she gives out some bad advice to women, just like I think Derek Jackson gives out some bad advice to women. And, you know what I mean? Some of it's good, but a lot of it's wrapped in falsehoods. So it's unfortunately a lot of these people don't get the results they're looking for. And so even though they are delusional, they don't have nobody that's telling the truth, because if you tell people the truth, you'll be like me and you won't have no subscribers or followers or nothing, man. You just have people that want to just, come at you and troll you and stuff. But you don't have no people that want to hear the truth, because people don't want to hear the truth. They want their ears tickled. They want somebody to tell them what they want to hear, the way they want to hear. They want it in a package that they can have, and they don't have no problem with it. But Brother Clarence ain't the one. I'm following the same line of Minister Malcolm X. He said, I did not come here to tell you what you like. I came here to tell you the truth, quote, unquote. So I'm the same way. I came here to tell you the truth. And if you like it, that says something about you. If you don't like to hear the truth, that's saying something about you. You need to check something like that. Anyway, this is April Mason. I don't have no hate or shade for her. I just think you ought to take her advice. You ought to watch who you listening to. Take her advice. Watch who you listening to. If you listen to April Mason for anything other than how to make money, I think maybe you should think about that. I think she's very capable of telling you how to make you some money. But when it comes to having relationships and having solid relationships, you know what I mean? I'm not going up in no airplane with somebody who ain't never made a flight, who crashed every time they got in the plane, they crashed. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna get in the plane with somebody who's flown and they landed on at the destination several times. I'd rather do that. That's me. But some of y'all listen to these dating coaches, they ain't got no relationships, they ain't got no nothing. And even Kevin Samuels. One thing I got to say about Kevin just uses the mathematics. So he steps out of the way and lets the math do the talking. Really, he's just talking behind the math. So I can get with that. April Mason ain't even doing that. Derek Jackson, you ain't even doing that. You know what I mean? You ain't got no mathematics to support your claims, no nothing. Just God will find a man for you. If you do this, God will bring this man to you. And you're not giving women the reality of the situation, which is this You got to hustle. Like Abraham Lincoln said, everything else goes to the people who don't hustle. I mean, I may be misquoting it that way, but basically, the hustlers get everything first, and then everybody else who ain't ready to hustle, they get what's left over. Period to end. Anyway, I talked too much. No shade on April Mason. No shade on Derek Jackson. I actually think they are smart business people, man. And if you're trying to build a business, you should at least take some notes from them and see how they put their business together, because they both made a ton of money in the business world. But as far as relationships, don't do it. Don't listen. You want to listen to somebody who's got a lot of flight time. You don't want to listen to somebody who never been up and never made a successful flight. And unless they got the math behind them, you don't want to listen to that person. Aye. Okay. All right. That's it. Brothers and sisters, never be the aggressors. Peace.